Hey you, what up? Maryam here, welcome to my channel or welcome back. It's Faves X Fails time! Woo-hoo! For the month of November. In today's video, I'm gonna be talking about all of my favorite beauty and makeup products for the month and show you rather than tell you why they're actually my favorite. So I'm gonna be slapping on these products onto my face and also perhaps to my body because I do have some body products to talk about this time around. And as always and per usual, you can't have good without evil. So I'll also be talking about some of the products that unfortunately did not work for me this month, aka my fails. So with that said, remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can see all of my Wednesday and Sunday videos. And now let's get to it. Faves X fails for the month of November. Let's hit it. All right, so nothing on my face right now except my brows are laminated and I do have my lip liner on because, you know, I'm trying to be a little bit more presentable. And I also don't have any new favorites in the lip liner and brow category. Therefore, I'm just trying to save some time. Lord God, it's really early in the morning. I need my energy drink right now. So the first product that I'm going to talk about is actually from my previous video. It's this Essence My Skin Perfector Tinted Primer. I have it in 2 shades here. I tried it for the first time in my previous video, and I tried it with some foundations that unfortunately did not really work too well with it, but I've been trying it since I filmed that video. I have been loving this primer. I wouldn't necessarily call it a primer. It's more like a BB cream slash putty primer in one. So not only does it perfect your skin texture, it also gives you a hint of color. Therefore, it perfects your skin tone as well. So what I love about this primer slash BB cream combo is how texture perfecting it is, how mattifying it is, and how smoothing it is on my skin. Let me put it this way. If you're already having a really good skin day and you don't need super duper full coverage for spots like the ones that I'm having on my face right now, this could probably serve as your everyday base. It looks that great in person. It looks really good on camera as well, but in person, let me tell you, I see no pores, I see no fine lines, and also my tone is improved. So to me, it's a win-win situation. Also, this product is $6, you guys. It's $6 at Ulta. What more can you ask for? So I actually just applied the wrong shade. I used 10 light beige, which is clearly a bit lighter than the rest of me, but the 20 nude beige is a little bit closer to my skin tone, so I'll just apply that one on top to show you that this product can also be buildable. Basically, what I'm saying is this product is a hit for me this month. You guys should totally get your hands on it if you can. Something that costs so little and does so much, to me, is absolutely worthy of being on my faves list this month. I had to mention that product because I was kind of skeptical about it in my previous video, but I did try it several times after, and honestly, it's the next product that I want to talk to you guys about is actually in the skincare category, and it is a body product. Specifically, I'm talking about the JOSIE MARAN Whipped Argan Oil Body Butter. Now this product has been around for a while, but I am just a little bit late to the party, but I have been testing it for the last couple of months or so, and I have absolutely fallen in love with this product. It's a no-brainer why it's a bestseller, because it works, and if you guys are already familiar with it, then you probably are already in the know. And let me tell you, as oily as my facial skin is, the skin on my body is the opposite. I'm not gonna say that it's as dry as a desert, but especially during this winter time and, you know, these colder weather months, my skin gets particularly parched, especially on my legs. So I applied this body butter onto my legs just earlier this morning, and look at the difference. You can clearly see my left leg is so moisturized and glowing, and it's got some color to it, whereas the right one is looking very dull, super dry, and dehydrated. So what I love about this body butter the most is, first of all, this whipped delicious texture that looks and feels like dessert. Just actually gonna go ahead and indulge. Now, if you're not familiar with JOSIE MARAN products, they are formulated with 100% pure argan oil. Even their foundations and their highlighters and their makeup products are argan oil based. So they provide maximum hydration and nourishment to parched skin. But back to the body butter. The reason why it's on my faves list this month is because of how lightweight it is, but how deeply nourishing it feels on my skin. This is the type of product that you can apply after you shower at night night and then put on your PJs immediately after and go to bed. It won't stain your sheets or your PJs. It won't feel all oily and heavy because it absorbs so darn quickly. And the best part is that this effect actually lasts all day. So in my experience, it's made my skin better over time. I actually have to apply less product the more that I used it. I've been drenching myself in the unscented body butter, but they also have some scents. They have a sweet citrus. They also have this holiday kit for $54 with an unscented and also with a cranberry splash. And by the way, these scents are 100% naturally derived, which is why I am actually so drawn to them. $36 for this 8 fluid ounce jar. Links below. You're welcome. Ooh, I have another body product to talk about today. And this one is kind of falling into the makeup category. So it's a good transition product to go from skincare and body products into actual makeup. I am talking about this WESTMORE Beauty Body Coverage Perfector. All right, firstly, I will admit this is a pricier product. This is a $79 tube that includes 3.5 fluid ounces of product. So it's more than half the size of this JOSIE MARAN body butter, but they do totally different things. This is an actual makeup for your body, and it's meant to be non-transferable. It's meant to last all day. It's meant to look amazing on camera. And let me tell you, this thing freaking delivers. It delivers, you guys. This product is another one that has been around for a long time, but I just recently started getting PR from WESTMORE Beauty. Again, I'm kind of late on the bandwagon, and where have I been all my life? This is literally the one that you need to cover up varicose veins, to cover up sunspots, age spots, even tattoos. This is so legit. Now, the way that you apply it on is actually with this brush, which is also kind of pricey, $32 for this little brush, but they work so well together, and a little bit of product goes a long way. So you apply just a little dollop to whatever area that you want to cover up. You wait for about 5 to 10 minutes for it to set. Then you can add on a second coat in case you need it to be more full coverage to, say, cover a tattoo. And you guys, when I tell you that it's set for a day, all day, for the whole day, you know what I'm trying to say. It's freaking amazing. Now, obviously not for every day, but if you have a special occasion and you just want to feel comfortable in the skin that you're in, and I'm not just talking about your face, this is something that's good to have in your arsenal, especially if you're a makeup artist, or even if you're not a makeup artist. Alexa, read me the notification.
Christmas lights will arrive today.
Even if you're not a makeup artist, this is something great to have in your arsenal. Moving right along. Now I'm ready to talk about foundations. Since I've been loving everything so far, since I've been so positive, let me just go ahead and give you a negative. I'm not loving this Bare Minerals new original liquid mineral foundation. No, sir. No, ma'am. Now, this is a $35 foundation with broad spectrum SPF 20. I got a couple of different shades. The shade Golden Medium, which is my shade in the original powder foundation, unfortunately, isn't an exact match to the powder foundation. It's a lot more yellow, so it didn't really work for me, but I was able to actually make it work. Moreover, what I don't like about this foundation is how cakey it gets. It felt very balmy on my skin, and at first glance, I was looking at myself in my monitor and also in my far away mirror. At first glance, I was kind of enjoying the effect because it looked very dewy and it did even out my skin tone, but the problem was looking at myself up close. The moment I looked in the mirror, I could literally see this foundation clinging on to patchy areas of my skin that I didn't even know were patchy. It was emphasizing literally every single pore. It was just terrible up close. So although it looked pretty good on camera and pretty good from far away, this was just not flattering on me. Also, it was kind of like a sheer to medium coverage. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I was expecting more from a brand like Bare Minerals. Their original mineral foundation was one of the first foundations that I've ever tried when I was in high school, and it's a product that I have an emotional connection with, so I was expecting a lot more from this one, if that makes any sense. Unfortunately, it did disappoint. So we're gonna move on to something a little bit more positive, okay? Okay. I also tried this Elizabeth Arden Flawless Finish Skin Caring Foundation. This one is a $42 foundation. Also a lot more full coverage, but I liked it a lot more because it was just better. So today I'm gonna use this foundation all over my face. and show you why I liked it. These are actually the only 2 new foundations that I tried this month. So the Elizabeth Arden one is the better of the 2, but it's still not as good as my previous month's fave, which is the Orsay foundation, the really expensive one, the double the price of this one expensive one. The shade that I'm wearing here is 340W, and I think it's a really good match. It does a really good job of color correcting the tone of my skin. And it's also kind of like a satin matte finish. It's not a flat matte. It has a little bit of a sheen, so it has that dewy, youthful effect that is so sought after nowadays. I feel like those days of the super full coverage matte foundations are over. Now we're looking for something a little bit more wearable, a little bit more natural, dewy and youthful looking. And I think this foundation is actually the best of both worlds. Moving right along to another fail. And you guessed it, it is unfortunately the new Bare Minerals Original Liquid Concealer. Just like I did not love the foundation, I also didn't love the concealer. I just didn't think it was full coverage enough for the under eye. And granted, I don't even have like a dark circle under eye issue, but I feel like the reason we use concealers is so that we can brighten and cover up those imperfections. You can't really have a liquidy, half-ass type of concealer. I am so sorry for saying it that way, but it is the truth. I did, however, like the texture of this concealer. I thought it was pretty forgiving when it came to the fine lines and just the delicate skin around the eye. I just didn't think it was full coverage enough for those of us who need the full coverage. Not to say that I don't love Bare Minerals as a brand. I actually love this brand so much, which is why I am feeling just a little bit more critical because my expectations are really high, okay? With that said, where is the concealer that I actually wanted to use for today's video? Hello? Oh no. Well, you know what? I might as well just use this Bare Minerals concealer under my eyes. I'm not gonna use it for my imperfections because it's just not gonna fly, but I will use it for my under eye. It looks really nice on camera, but up close in my mirror, you can see how streaky it is. And it's just a little too liquidy for my preference. I can definitely make it work, but it's definitely taking me a little bit more time. Now this product is like new. I couldn't even get the price when I was looking online. So if you guys do get your hands on it at some point, please refer back to this video and let me know your thoughts. If you think I'm wrong and if you think this concealer is actually the bee's knees, tell me why. All right, moving right along to probably my absolute favorite makeup product of the month. And if you are an avid follower of mine on Instagram, then you already know what I'm about to mention. I'm talking about this One Size powder, honey. Yes, this is by far the absolute star player of Patrick Starr's One Size makeup collection thus far. It is such an amazing powder that I have been reaching for every day since I've tried it. I honestly think that the inspiration for this powder came from Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrush Flawless Finish, except this is in loose powder form. Comes with a very convenient topper. Also, the powder comes out from a really wide opening of the slash of the OS, so it's easy to disperse onto the cap. But furthermore, the reason why I love it so much is because it's so smoothing, it's so skin perfecting, it has absolutely zero flashback. It actually makes a difference in your makeup. It helps your makeup last longer. It makes your skin texture appear more smooth, and it's also got those soft focus particles, so it helps to distract from your imperfections. I mean, I've said this before, Patrick is the king and queen of setting powders. It is what he does. So my expectations for this product were really high, but never did I imagine that it would actually become my favorite product from One Size, let alone it easily beat out my Laura Mercier translucent powder, possibly even the Derma Blend. That's how good this product is. Also, the fact that it's available in 2 different colors, a universal translucent and also a darker shade for deeper complexions, is great, and it's inclusive. The fact that you can get a full size for $30 or a travel size for $16 is another amazing feature, because if you don't believe me, just get the $16 travel size, test it for yourself, get addicted to it, believe the hype, and then invest the $30 in the large size. I also love the fact that you can apply it on top of itself, So it's kind of like a buildable baking powder, or you can lightly dust it to those areas where you just want to control some shine, but you don't want to get rid of the dew, like my forehead. Like truly, I can't say enough good things about this product, and honestly, as a friend of Patrick's, I am so freaking proud of him for creating it. I feel like he created it for me and also for everybody else. All right, so right now my face is looking really pancakey. It's looking really flat, really pale, and I am in need of some bronzer. My favorite bronzer this month is from HAUS Labs Heat Spell Bronzer and Highlighter Duo. I've been using the shade Kindle and Ember, and let me tell you, 11 grams of product for $25 is a really, really good deal. I think this bronzer highlighter duo is a big hit for HAUS Labs. They also have some blush and highlighter duos that I love as well. But specifically this shade of bronzer is just really up my alley. It's a very believable, natural, golden olive, sun-kissed type of glow that I personally love. I love the fact that it's matte, but it's not a flat matte. So it's a very forgiving product that you could easily use to bronze up, but also to chisel out your features. And the powder is just so soft and so forgiving. I was contemplating whether to mention the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer that I've also been reaching for a lot this month. This guy is so pricey that for the price, easily go with the HAUS Labs. The product is just as good as the Charlotte T, except it's much more affordable, and you also get a highlighter in the same container. Again, for blush, I've also been loving the HAUS Labs Head Rush Blush and Highlighter Duos. And comparing to the $55 Wayne Goss palette, I would actually say they're very similar. The Wayne Goss is 19 grams, whereas the HAUS Labs is 11 grams. It's $55, it's $25. So I feel like the price is very, very fair here. And I've been loving them both. But you know what? The lower price tag just speaks to me a little bit more. Who's with me? All right, so for today, I'm gonna be using the Head Rush Rock and Rose blush. This very beautiful pinky one. I hardly ever apply blush before I actually apply my eye makeup, but today is that day. Look how pigmented, but look how easily it blends. All right, so now that we are almost finished with the face, let's move on to some eyeshadow palettes. Let's just talk about all of them. I tried a lot of eyeshadow products this month, and I've kind of categorized them in order. The first palette that I'm loving, unfortunately I don't have it in front of me because I forgot to put it on my table, but it is actually the Bejeweled Eyes to Hypnotize by Charlotte Tilbury. Now this is a $75 palette, all cranberry peachy tones, very wearable, very festive, very beautiful, super silky. I do have a video on that, so definitely check it out if you're interested in that palette. This would probably be in my #1 slot. In my #2 slot, it's kind of a toss-up between the Lunar Beauty Eternal Eclipse palette and the Wayne Goss Pearl Moonstone palette. Now both of these eyeshadow palettes are kind of the same mood, except Lunar Beauty has 15 shades at $48 and Wayne's palette has 6 shades at $55. Now you can clearly tell where some of these shades can overlap. I see the gray represented in both palettes. I definitely see the shimmery shades, and you could probably get the same look with Manny's palette that you would with Wayne's, but they're both really great quality. So just because one is a little bit more worth the money because it has a lot more, doesn't mean that the other one isn't a great palette. So I love them both, which is why I put them both in my #2 slot. Oh my God, I don't have that palette either. What's wrong with me? In my #3 slot, I have NATASHA DENONA's Triochrome or Triochrome palette. I've been calling it the Triochrome because, like, hello, tripod, but apparently it's a trio because there's 3 shades of the triochromatic pigments. Anyway, that palette I really loved, but I was kind of disappointed with the fact that there were only 3 of those chromatic shades within the palette. However, I actually spoke to NATASHA about it, and she told me that her Triochrome pigments are 100% compliant, whereas so many other brands are not, which is why the $129 price tag is actually justifiable. That palette I love. I feel like the colors are gorgeous. And of course, the quality is always there, as with all Natasha Denona palettes. Next on my ranking is Raw Beauty Kristi X ColourPop. This is a $20 palette, kind of woodsy, forest themed, really great quality. I was able to create a beautiful look with this palette, but unfortunately I hadn't reached for it since the day that I created that video. I don't know if I forgot about the palette. I don't know if I wasn't as drawn to the colors as I initially thought I was, but that is the reason why it's in my number 4 slot. Number 5, similarly, is the Lime Crime Greatest Hits Bangers. Now this is a bigger palette, and although I wasn't initially drawn to the color combo, there were some shades in here that were really stunning, specifically these very beautiful lavender lilac shades. But just because I love those 2 shades does not mean that I should actually keep this entire heavy palette in my stash. And again, I hadn't reached for it since I filmed the video that I filmed with this palette. And now going down the list, ColourPop's Stone Cold Fox is just a little too cool for me, you guys. And although I welcome the cooler eyeshadows, this just gives me absolutely no warms at all. So I far prefer a palette that encompasses both warm shades and cool shades, and also some neutrals. But this can only give you a cool eye shadow look. So not as versatile as I thought it would be, and again, I hadn't reached for it. Moving down the line, ColourPop's Ménage à Moi palette just didn't speak to me. All the colors look the same. I don't feel like there's enough variety in this palette. They're all very dusty rose, and dusty rose is just not a color that I gravitate towards. It kind of reminds me of like an old stinky pashmina that's been eaten by moth. Can you tell I said that from personal experience? Yeah, so even though the quality is probably decent, it's just not something that is up my alley, and that's okay. Next up, I was kind of disappointed with the lack of a holiday eyeshadow palette from NARS. Hello! NARS creates some of the most beautiful holiday palettes and holiday kits ever. How could they miss the mark, especially in 2020 when we're wearing masks? Their whole holiday collection was focused on lips, where they should have probably given us a lot more eye options, just saying. And the final palette that I was sadly and unfortunately disappointed with is the Physicians Formula, the Gold Vault. The reason why I'm sad is because this palette is absolutely stunning to look at. It looks breathtaking. It looks like bars of gold. And I am a lover of gold. I'm not someone who really wears silver very much at all. Gold is the color that I gravitate towards. I have gold Christmas balls looking at me from the corner of my room. This really drew me in. Unfortunately, the quality just was not there. Yes, this has really high reviews, and maybe people feel the same way as I do. Maybe this is just such a visually stimulating palette that we don't even care about the quality, but the quality is important, and for me, the quality was just not there. Sorry. And I have a favorite eyeshadow primer this month. It is actually not my Fenty Beauty primer. I'm talking about the Bare Minerals Primetime Eyelid Primer. So as much as I did not love Bare Minerals' new liquid foundation and concealer, I absolutely love this eyeshadow primer. It is really, really good. It reminds me of that old school Urban Decay primer potion, but it's better because the primer potion has a tendency of getting a little patchy. This primer does not do that. It's reliable, it's solid, and for that, it is on my faves list this month. Shall we zoom in? All right, so for today, gonna keep it nice and cute. You know what? I'm gonna reach for a silver since I said I never do. So today I'm gonna do that. Eternal Eclipse is what I'm using, and I'm slapping on a bit of that silver to the center of the lid, just to prove a point to myself. Silvers are not to be neglected. And look how stunning this one is. Pigment, the sparkle, the payoff is there. Ooh, and I just look so frosty right now. Feeling it. Next, I'm gonna grab a small little eye crease brush. This is from Laura Mercier. And you know what? I'm gonna go for a cooler shade. Rose Thorn, this one. Every rose has its thorn. Just creating a bit of shape and definition here above my eye socket bone. I'm also gonna create a bit of definition right here. Not really connecting them, I'm just giving the illusion of connection. But really I want to let that silver peek through, just like that. Add a bit of that shadow to the lower lash line, just like that. All right, next up I'm gonna reach for the Wayne Goss palette that I also love. And with a tiny Wayne Goss brush, I'm gonna reach for that black. I'm just gonna create this outer V darkened corner right here, just to give a little hint And then I'm gonna blend that out just a smidge. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye. Have you guys noticed how much I've been into natural eye looks lately? Just into natural makeup looks overall. It's really been my thing. As much as I love the glam and the drama, I think natural is also very, very fresh. And it's something that more of us can wear. I just want all the practicality in my life. I want it to be easily achievable, but also do its job, make me feel better, make me look better. That's it. Isn't that cute? All right, I'm also gonna reach for this shade here, the silvery, slightly more satin gray. I'm gonna plop that into this corner right here, just to kind of meet with the vibrant center of the lid and just to fill in any gaps. That's it, just like that, just easy. All right, for highlighter today, you guys, well, I have two. I have a really expensive one that I've been loving, which is Charlotte Tilbury $55 Hollywood Superstar Glow Highlighter. This beauty right here. And then on the flip side, I have a super affordable Wet n Wild Hello Halo Blushlighter, which comes in 2 shades. And I think this is like $6 or something. And like legit, this is amazing. I'm not saying it's as amazing as the Charlotte T, but it's definitely not a product that I would shy away from using. I mean, look how blinding and look how gorgeous that is. Hello! I also think it's very texture forgiving, especially for how bright it is. And then for the other side of my face, I'm actually gonna go ahead and reach for the Charlotte just to show you the difference. This one's definitely a bit more of a glow from within, like a slightly more luxurious feel to it. But honestly, which one do you like more? Comment below. I'm gonna quickly curl my lashes because I am not doing falsies this time around. Another thing that I'm kind of over, I'm just like over the heavy feel of false lashes. Not this year, girl. I mean, what events have I had to wear a pair of false lashes to? What event have you had? I have a favorite mascara this month, and it is the MIZON Collagen Curling Fix Mascara. This one is $6 or $7. I get it from Yes Style, and this is an absolutely amazing mascara for shorter Asian lashes like mine, and specifically for my eye shape. Although it doesn't say anywhere that it's waterproof, it's absolutely smudge proof. I tested this mascara during Thanksgiving. As a tradition, Lee and I always go to his mom's house in Pennsylvania, and his mom is Puerto Rican, so she cooks a ton. And we always spend a lot of time around the kitchen, playing games, drinking. And at Lee's mom's house around Thanksgiving is where I usually tend to test the most volatile makeup products. And typically, that's where I discover most of my fails. But not this year, you guys. This year, I specifically tested Patrick's powder as well as this mascara, and those were the 2 products that literally made my makeup and my face look completely flawless by the end of the night. That never happens. Not in those environments, not when I'm constantly around food and cooking and drinking. But back to this mascara, I honestly feel like this is a hidden gem of a product. It's so legitimately good. It makes my lashes look incredibly amazing. It holds on to the curl, and it's also buildable. It's one of those mascaras that actually does a lot, and I've never heard anyone talk about it. So I feel like this is a discovery that I made on my own, but I'm not stingy. And whenever I find something that is this amazing, I have to share it with you guys. Do I need falsies? I don't think so. The final product on my faves list this month is it's Artist Couture lip glosses. I love them so much. This is my favorite lip gloss formula of all time. That plastic in the best sense of the word. You know I've talked about these in so many of my Faves X fails, and the reason why I keep talking about them is because Artist Couture and Mac Daddy keep on coming out with new shades that I love. This month we have 3 new shades. On top of the Striptease and the Uncensored 2.0, we also have Thirst Trap, which is like a very pale peachy beige. We also have X-Rated, which is like a more tan kind of nude. These 2 shades are awesome. I'm gonna show you how gorgeous X-Rated is. I mean, it is literally the gloss shade that you want and need in your life because it brings the whole look together. It makes it more sophisticated. It's working with my blush and with my eye look. It's working with my nails, with my skin tone. It's working with my hair, and I couldn't be more pleased. $18, amazing, incredible formula. Doesn't feel sticky or goopy or gloppy or gross on the lips. It feels incredible, and it makes me feel amazing overall. So those those are my faves X fails, you guys, for the month of November. Let me know which of these products called out to you. Which ones are you excited to try? Let me know what are some of your fails this month. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. Comment down below. Let your voice be heard. And also be on the lookout for my next giveaway. We are at the end of the video. This is my final look. I am loving it, and I am going to zoom on out so that you can check out my next couple of videos, one that you may like and my most recent video, so click on it. I love you guys.